So if you watched my last video, at the end, when we were talking with our coach, I said I don't like necessarily to come out the back door because of the other problems that arise. So here's a good example of it. This guy shoots in on me, a really good shot, and he comes out the back, or he's trying to come out the back door. And you see how I'm locked in the crotch, but I've also got his foot. And that was literally what I was saying on that video, at the end of that video that we just posted yesterday. And you see, it's when I get the opportunity to slide back, then I go straight to that head in the hole, take his back. Like an idiot, I go reaching for him. See that? This is why I teach on my instructional, I teach on the channel, hands low. It's because of things that I've learned. See how I lock in his crotch with one hand and grab his foot with the other? Okay, so this is what I was talking about with Frank. And I was saying he's got a whole host of other problems because he can't move his legs forward and get his base back when I'm doing that. So then I post, okay, to try to balance myself so I don't go over. Okay, and I start working his feet again. I still have a strong, tight waist on him there. And I'm going to use that right now to push back. And then see, slide back, go to the front headlock, head in the hole, hands were on the mat, his hands were on the mat, and take his back. Okay, so classic. And now I wanted to show this next part just because I get to show the pressure on the thigh move, so, and an escape. So I'm standing up, I'm getting his hands off, classic stuff here. See, I break his hands, I turn in, right, and I go right away to it. See, boom, right to the high crotch. And I switch to an inside single because he was ripping my face off, right? And I go pressure on the thigh right here. Bang. And then I ride him for a little bit here. And then he makes a critical mistake by trying to reach up and grab my head. See how I stay underneath his arms? Stay underneath his arms. Always underneath his arms, okay? The seatbelt ride is not a ride unless you have legs in. So you want to start working wrists. That's why he can't stand up, because I'm pressuring forward. Okay, I'm keeping the pressure forward, but I've got wrist control. Boom, right there. I'll rewind that so you guys can see it. But I'll show you the pin. And so watch what I do with his arm. Watch how I hold, his... So I need to get his far shoulder on the mat. Watch how similar these positions are in jiu-jitsu, right? So in jiu-jitsu, I use positions like this all the time to isolate that arm, right? So now look, I go head far on this outside of that arm. I do straight arm locks and stuff from this position all the time. So then that's the end of the match, right? And that got me, this was the same New York tournament, by the way, that I got recruited at for collegiate wrestling. And for Division I, that is. I was already actually supposed to go D3, and I actually kind of blew off my coach when I first met him at this tournament. So this got me into the finals. So, and then always shake the other coach's hands, be a good sport. Always thank the person that you just wrestled. Let me show you a few more things. All right, this is something I learned a long time ago. Watch this. Stay in bounds. Stay in bounds. Isolate that one hand. Right, turn and give him your shoulder so that you get yourself wider. And watch how little time I take. Right to the head, boom, right in. My hands never touch the mat. That's his hand on the mat. Mine never turned on the mat so that I could change positions and not lose my power. And then I'm trying to lock my shoulder in here, right? I actually tried to lift him there because I thought I might be able to. And here, I lock my shoulder in and pressure down hard. And he goes down. Now, let me show you where he messed up, where he tried to do the head hunt. Now, it's a common move that they teach in wrestling all the time, but I was always ready for it. And so when he goes to head hunt, that's when I catch him. All right, so I'm going to try to pressure forward here. He sits out and goes for the head hunt. And you see how I braced and sprawled and turned right back into it? Let me show you one more time. Okay, so here he sits out and he head hunts. And then, look, I sprawl down hard and turn into it. I look into, like, his armpit, essentially, and that puts my shoulders and hips right going to chest here. And then so now, right, I just go for the pin, and, he's still holding onto my head at this point, which was not smart. He should have been punching in, but I think I caught him off guard, and he was extremely strong. This was the strongest guy I wrestled in the tournament. And so you'll see, watch, I go to try to control that far arm and stretch it out. See there, right? And now in jiu-jitsu, I use this position often, right, chest on chest and control the far arm, so that then I can, do straight arm locks or Americana or Kimura, whatever they're giving me, where I just am leaning over. And so I was actually kind of hoping that he was going to bridge into me so that my right leg would then go to what we call the double grapevines on both sides, right? So if he bridges into me right there, that I thought about switching to the far leg with my leg, right, so that I could get double grapes, but I didn't need to. All right, thanks for watching, and leave comments, ask questions, and I'll continue to post these because they're kind of fun. Thanks again for supporting the channel and, participating, and my Patreon is up if you want to see more wrestling breakdowns, because I'm not going to do them on here anymore. I feel like the video quality is much higher. They must not compress it or anything, but anything that you contribute, 33% of it will help to go to support Alec at Cat Paw.